My mother never wished for a son. On numerous occasions mother would state she wished I had been born a girl. I believe after my father had left her for another woman it would have been easier for her to raise two daughters rather than a son and daughter. It must have been very difficult for mother to have her husband leave her when she was pregnant with me. My mother and sister are the reason I have become the person I am today. My mother and sister were both dominate and were the queen and princess of the household. They both despised my father for leaving them and did not wish for me to turn into the man he was. For instance, I was not allowed to partake in sports because my father was a sports fanatic. I was allowed to play with my Barbie dolls which mother would always purchase for me for Christmas, birthdays, and when I was being a good girl. My father, a self-proclaimed man's man, would have of course despised seeing his son playing with Barbie dolls. I believe this is the reason mother had me play with them. My chores consisted of housekeeping, sewing, and preparing meals for mother and sister. Mother would have me wear a pinafore as I performed my chores as she did not wish me to sully my clothing. I remember my favorite was a full-bodied baby blue satin pinafore. I simply adored the large deep pleated stand-up frilly straps that went over my shoulders. The pinafore tied in the rear and had extra long satin sashes that mother would tie into an overly large bow. I knew I was essentially my mother's and sister's housekeeper and I enjoyed the role I was so generously given to by them. They would assume I despised it, but I never did. My sister enjoyed having a maid and loved to order me what to do and how to act. She was 6 years older than me and was in charge of me when mother was preoccupied. I was in love with her bedroom and always wished it was mine. It was heavenly being in there when I would make her bed, dusted and placed her laundry away. Her closet was full of beautiful clothing I adored, worshipped and wished to wear. She would threaten me to dress me up as a girl, but to my utter disappointment she never would. I truly wished she did. Her denial of wearing her clothing only fueled my desire further to wear them more. It was forbidden fruit. Sister would always refer to me as her sissy. For one of my birthdays she gave to me a pretty necklace that had shiny round tag which said sissy. I simply adored the gift and always wore it, even to this day I still wear it. My sister was my idol and one of my role models and I of course copied and mimicked her. Mother of course showed sister the most love, so I decided to be like sister so mother would love us the same. Sister loved to tease me with the fact that I was not allowed to go on mother-daughter shopping trips. Sister would always model her beautiful new dresses in front of me when she returned from said trip. I so envied her. Mother was my heroine, superior and instructor. Of course I wished to be just like her when I grew up. She was a strong, powerful and a dominant woman. I am not sure if she was always this way, but I believe this is how she became after father left her. Mother was beautiful and radiant, ultra-feminine and detested masculinity. She loved to dominate men after father left her and was referred to as mistress by her male subjects. They showered her with beautiful gifts and tributes just to be dominated by her. She stated a man's place in this world was beneath her 6-inch stiletto heel. Being born with the disease mother called manhood, my place was beneath mother's lovely high heel. Mother taught me how to act and behave. I was taught by my mother to always sit with my legs crossed and place my hands in my lap. It was completely unacceptable for me to sit in any other fashion. I also was shown how to walk properly. Mother would have me practice taking tiny dainty steps, instructing me to shorten my stride and be ladylike. She would tell me to imagine myself as a woman, to release my inner female and to walk like she does. There I would be in front of mother mincing, wiggling my hips, imitating her sexy and seductive walk she used to captivate her subjects. Of course I adored doing this and did not wish it to be any other way. I would sit with mother at her vanity while I brushed her long lovely golden locks. If I was on best feminine behavior during this time, mother would reward me with the gift of polishing her nails. Mother would wear the most stunning sensuous lingerie during these intimate moments. I was in love with the black soft net peignoir she would wear on some nights and would have loved to wear such a delicious delicate. The peignoir was daring and divine, sultry and seductive. It had luscious long sleeves with beautiful lace trim at the cuffs and an extra long satin tie sash at the waist. I adored the satin collar, which had an accompanying satin string that she tied into a lovely bow at the back of her neck. The gown was edged in the prettiest lace, adding to Mother's dramatic look. She reminded me of a Hollywood starlet when she wore this peignoir. I treasured my mother's lingerie and loved hand-washing her delicates. Mother would say lingerie is for women and not for a boy. She would add if I had been born a girl I would be able to wear such delights, but unfortunately I was born a male. I started to cry one night when Mother stated this and told her how I also wished I had been born female. Mother smiled when I said this and drew me to her large perfumed beautiful bosom. She consoled me and wiped away my tears. She commended me for stating this and told me my comment was my beginning of my transcendence into womanhood. Mother was extremely pleased and excited with my revelation. I knew she would be. I was always so happy and eager to please her. As my feminine behaviors and mannerism began to reach their pinnacle, Mother decided I was now allowed to grow my hair as long as my sisters. At this point in time I was only allowed to have crew cuts, which I deeply despised. I was highly envious of my sister's length of hair and so desired it to be long like hers. I fantasized about the different styles I would wear my lovely locks. With time and patience my hair was one day as long as my sister's. Mother stated if I ever acted like a boy she would cut off all my pretty locks, so I was always on my best feminine behavior, of course. As time progressed it just felt natural to be feminine. I was just being me and it never was an act or behavior. Mother was also kind enough to purchase me my very first bra and panties set when I became the appropriate age. My first bra was made in shiny white satin, adorned with cute satin detailed flower buds on top of lovely little satin bows. The bra also had a flattering plunge neckline that was edged in delicate lace and had a ribbon in the front that she tied into a charming bow. My panties were double-lined with soft satin and had a detailed rose with hanging bows in the front. They also had 2 layers of patterned lace and at the rear 2 shiny glass silk roses with satin bows trimmed with lace. I had never worn such delicates before and I loved the way they felt. I also loved the way they looked on me. I was a bit disappointed as my bra cups were barren, but Mother stated it would not always be this way. She thought I would have hated to hear this, but in fact I was ecstatic to hear this. Mother placed a luxurious white super shiny crepe satin robe around me, tied the waist tie into a brilliant bow and sat me at her vanity. She brushed my long golden locks and styled my hair into a side ponytail. Mother then applied 2 coats of clear nail polish to my now manicured fingernails. I was so happy and thrilled to share these moments with her. Then one day when Mother beckoned me to her bedroom. My sister's birthday was on this day and she asked me if I wished to surprise her with a delightful gift. I wanted to make my sister's sweet 16th birthday special, so I agreed to do whatever Mother asked of me. Mother stated she would enjoy the gift as well and that things would be different for all us from this day on. Mother dressed me in a beautiful baby bow dress that had once belonged to my sister when she was younger. It was one of the sweetest, prettiest and most beautiful dresses I had ever seen her wear. The dress had a delicate fold-down collar that was trimmed in lace and had a fixed satin bow in the center. The bodice had 2 pretty bows on the chest area and they were edged with lace. The dress had large puffball satin sleeves which had an overlay of see-through shiny glass silk. The sleeves were edged in the prettiest of pretty lace, as was the hem of the dress. The full pleated skirt had 2 lovely layers. The underlayer was satin while the overlayer was see-through glass silk. The dress was elastic at the waist for a perfect fit and had a satin ribbon running through it that Mother tied into an overly large feminine bow. Underneath my dress Mother had me wear a white petticoat that sat just beneath my chest. The petticoat had satin shoulder straps which she adjusted for a perfect fit and made my dress stand out to the fullest. The petticoat had layers upon layers of satin with pleated ruffle glass silk at the hem. The very top layer of my petticoat was decorated with the cutest satin bows. Mother then added an overly large hair flower to my ensemble. There was a stunning lace doily at the top of the flower with fixed satin hanging bows. I wore a pair of white stockings that were made in a super soft net and felt so lovely against my soft skin. The two-tone bow tie shoe I wore with my outfit were adorable, of course. They had a thick strap that went over the shoe, had an adjustable buckle and large attachable bows at the top of the shoe. While I was a bit disappointed they were flats and not heels, Mother assured me I would spend many days in stiletto heels in the future. She believed I would have detested this, but of course I would not. Mother escorted me to a full-length mirror to show me my true reflection. I was excited, curious, and wet with anticipation. I looked at my new self and fell instantly in love with the young lady looking back at me. I was beautiful and pretty, cute and sassy. I looked like a younger version of my magnificent mother and sensational sister. Mother was correct, of course. I should have been born a girl. Mother had me wait in her bedroom when my sister arrived home. I kept admiring myself in the mirror during this time. I twirled and I danced. I loved the rustle my petticoat made when I did this. I became lost in the moments because when I turned around I saw Mother and sister standing in the doorway. I am not sure how long they stood there, but they did witness what I had been doing. Mother and sister were both smiling, obviously enthused with what they saw. I was playing my part perfectly. Mother turned to sister and said that she now had the little sister she always wanted. Both my sister and I were shocked to hear this. My sister always made the same birthday wish every year, to have a little sister, and her wish came true on her 16th birthday. Sister stated how adorable and pretty I was and then gave me the most loving hug she had ever given me. Sister simply loved the new and improved me. People would often comment how similar we looked as I became older. Sister was so happy to have a sister who looked up to her and wanted to be just like her. She would have me twirl and swish my petticoats for her in the clothes she passed down to me. My wish had also come true. I was wearing my sister's clothes. Mother and sister began to refer to me as Mariah after I made a comment about how beautiful I thought Mariah Carey was and how I loved her sense of style. I stated this purposely as this was the name I wished I had. Mother stated she would make an excellent role model for me. My sister stated the reason I wanted to be like her was because I wished to have breasts as bountiful as hers. I could only blush when she stated this because she was correct and it was true. Mother and sister both thought I was blushing because I was embarrassed and would not want to have breasts. Mother assured me I would be as bountiful as her and sister one day. Mother also began to bring me with them on their mother and daughter dates. Mother no longer considered me her son and saw me now as her second daughter. I was now dressed up full-time as a girl. Mother stated the candy she gave to me would help me develop into a woman. I was so happy to hear this and always enjoyed my special treats. I was fearing my teenage years at this time, so I was ecstatic that I would not grow up and become like my father. She stated my treats were made of sugar and spice and everything nice, but I knew what they truly were. The first dress Mother ever purchased solely for me was a darling baby doll mod dress for my first mother and daughter date. The dress was super cute and adorable, bright and beautiful. The dress was cast in an unlined crepe shift silhouette in eye-catching fuchsia, sweet prissy princess seams and had a vibrant white Peter Pan collar. Mother had me wear sheer pantyhose that were decorated with lovely sweet pink woven hearts. My shoes were a pair of white bow flats which had a slim round toe design and small accent bows. Mother applied light makeup to enhance my natural beauty. I loved sitting at her vanity as she applied my makeup and styled my hair. I had watched and fallen in love with the way she seductively painted her lips. She styled my hair into high fluffy pigtails and tied them with two super duper cute bows. Mother then handed me a fuchsia patent and white bow ship-shaped purse. Mother placed my cosmetic in my purse so I could touch up my lipstick when need, spritz on new perfume and some sanitary napkins. Mother hugged me tightly in her arms and kissed me softly on my cheek. She had rarely if ever hugged me before I became a full-time girl. I could understand why she would not want to hug me when I was a boy. At that point in time I reminded her of her former husband and the pain he caused her. It was wonderful to finally be able to experience the joys of mother and daughter dates. I walked through the mall with my sister on one side and my mother on the other holding their hands. Mother bought me the most beautiful pretty dresses to add to my ever-increasing wardrobe. They were all pink, of course, as Mother said girls wear pink. The only color I was allowed to wear was blue because blue is what boys wear. Mother would tell me how horrible a color it was on me, but because I was a boy I had to wear this color. I grew up hating the color blue. Mother was right, of course. I look horrible in blue but pretty in pink. Mother enrolled me in an exclusive all-girls school and my days of homeschooling came to an end. The headmistress knew I was born with the disease of manhood and was thrilled to hear Mother was choosing to petticoat me and me become a female. She mentioned she had petticoated a few raunchy boys in her time, including her own too. She had a picture of her now lovely daughters on her desk who also attended the school. Mother stated I must always make straight A's or I would be taken out of the school and return to living as a boy. Hearing this always made me strive to do my best and have a perfect 4.0 GPA. Mother was thrilled when I graduated high school valedictorian, voted most likely to succeed and most popular girl in the school. Everything was beautiful and perfect. I had grown and developed into beautiful women. At the age of 18 I had my boy bits had been removed and there were no longer any traces of me being born a male. I was so thankful and relieved. I began college and decided to major in business management as I wished to open my own boutique. My mother was a highly successful and had a degree in business management as well. Then one day my mother came to me. She stated father had called her and wished to meet me. Mother held me in her loving arms and said she wanted me to meet him. I knew Mother wanted her former husband to see the woman his son had become. I knew it would help her to move on further from the pain he caused her. I agreed but requested Mother choose what I wore when I met him. She happily agreed. Mother chose for me to wear a black open-back sequined cocktail dress the night I met father. The dress was incredibly sexy, glittery and glamorous while still remaining refined. The dress had a deep V-neck bodice to display my beautiful bountiful breasts. I had true delicious double D breasts now and my dress was chosen to show them off. The sultry low open back was sure to turn heads while the slim line pencil skirt hugged my luscious curvaceous curves down to my knees. Mother applied my makeup on this night. The look she chose was very sultry and sexy. She added false eyelashes to add greater length to my already long lashes. She painted my lips a sexy divine radiant red that made them most so kissable. She styled my hair in a pretty updo as she wanted my earrings to be shown off. I wore a pair of classic black leather stiletto heels. My sexy heels had a dainty pointed toe and a sleek 5-inch heel with a hidden platform for a lustrous lift. Mother had me wear a vintage-style black faux fur stole scarf which made me feel glamorous when she placed it around me. My chic frock added a graceful statement to my dress while the exquisite satin lining added the perfect amount of polished posh. I wore a 14K white gold diamond heart pendant which had a timeless design which made my pendant both enduring and endearing. I also wore a pair of 3-inch ash-share cut bezel set 18K white gold diamond drop earrings. My final piece of jewelry was a 2-stone solitaire 14K white gold diamond ring which looked lovely paired with my red-hot red manicured nails. I looked absolutely stunning. I was a sexy starlet, a vixen, a fox and a minx. Mother and sister both approved of my look and took meticulous steps in designing my style for the night. While they were dressed to the nines as well, their look was more conservative but they both looked devilishly sexy. The three of us met father at a local high-class restaurant as mother knew he would not make a scene in such a place. An overweight bald man approached us whom mother stated was my father. If the man who planted my seed was ever handsome, his looks had surely diminished and deteriorated. He looked to the left and right multiple times as he engaged mother in small talk before finally questioning where his son was. Mother smiled and with a devilish grin stated he had no son, he had 2 daughters. It took the poor man a few moments to truly comprehend what my beautiful mother meant by this, but when his tiny mind grasped what she meant, his eyes grew wide in shock and horror. He looked at me evidently rattled, perplexed, and at a loss for any true words to speak. The bald fat man could only muster my long-forgotten and never-used boy name. I simply batted my long eyelashes when he said it and then said, "My name is Mariah, Daddy." I purposely stood up and twirled so he could see the beautiful woman, sister and daughter I had become. I wanted him to see my breasts in all their glory, take in my feminine beauty and shape, to see my sexy ensemble. The old man simply shook his head in disbelief and then lowered it into a further deeper disbelief. He turned around as his sulk and muttered under his breath about his son becoming a girl. He walked away again and we never heard from him again. I took my seat with my role models, my creators, the women who introduced me to womanhood and all the joys that come with being female. Some might say I was nothing more than a pawn in my mother's game of revenge against my father, her former husband. I do not see it that way, as I became the person who I truly wish, wanted and longed to be. I was the person my mother and sister wanted me to be. I was a beautiful and sexy, powerful and intelligent female just like them. I was always aware of what my traits truly were. I knew mother pushed me towards being feminine and showed me love when I became her daughter. I understood that mother and sister both took their anger and pain out on me for father leaving and in some ways blamed me for it. I knew what my sister meant when she told me I was a sissy and called me her sissy. I also knew mother would never have cut my locks lock or taken me out of the all-girls school I attended. She wanted revenge on my fater by turning his only son into a woman. Yet I was very honest with mother from the beginning. I wished I had been born a female. I realized this when I was very young, even before mother pushed me to be feminine. Mother wished I was her second daughter and I also wished to be her second daughter. I was the one who actually contacted my father and asked him to call mother and ask if he could meet me. I wanted to see my father's reaction when he saw me as the woman I had grown up to be. I did tell him some white lies that I was a star football player in high school and had a hot cheerleader girlfriend. I detested sports and always loved playing with my Barbies instead. I even included a picture of a man from the local area dressed in his football attire and stated this was a picture of me. When he was looking around, he was actually looking for the man in the picture. I see no reason to feel guilty about this, as he did abandon us. My father leaving us when I was younger caused us all so much pain, but me becoming a woman helped us all to heal and grow closer together. The three of us were able to finally move forward and put the man who hurt us in his place. We raised our champagne glasses and made a toast. What did we toast to, one may wonder? We made a toast to being women, of course.